From the combined crew of blindandroidusers.com and accessibleandroid.com, it's time for your favorite Android podcast. Kick back now and enjoy another fine episode from these fanboys and gals as they navigate Android from a blindness perspective. And now, here's your crew. Hello, everyone, and welcome to episode 222 of the Blind Android Users Podcast. We're recording today, Saturday, March the 8th, 2025. I'm Warren, hiding here in the state of Washington, and I'm joined by my colleagues.
John Dyer from Virginia.
Kevin Kiwan from Lebanon.
And Salih Kunduz from Turkey.
Welcome to episode 222. Coming up in this episode, we have in the Android Basics, we'll be talking about a feature drop from Google, that is the March feature drop. We'll also be talking about the watch updates that also come alongside with that update. In our spotlight, of course, is the MWC Mobile World Congress, and we'll be talking about some of the crazy stuff that comes through in the way of phones, and that's the one that we're most interested in. In the hardware section, which is related to the unboxing, we have something that people would may be interested in, and that has to do with how to apply screen protectors or tempered glass. Our friend Aaron Spears shows you how to apply that perfect application of the Ruki tempered glass. Then to close the episode, we have a tip of the week. All right, guys, let's get started. John, this is Wellness Check. What's up with you?
I'm good. It was a good week. It's starting to get warmer. It's baseball season here. So I actually came from my very first baseball practice this morning.
Did your team win it, John, or you kind of...
It was just a practice, though. Of course, they always win. Yeah, it's my son's. Well, he actually had one last week that I couldn't go to, but I was able to go to it this week because it was earlier in the morning. But yeah, it was fun. He is the smallest and youngest on the team, and he's a little out of control. So it's interesting, to say the least.
Yeah. I used to like those, when we took the kids to it, and, it's kind of chilly, and yet it's kind of, you're standing out there. Oh, you don't know what to do. I always make sure I have a good enough of a jacket for those times of years, because it's still very chilly out there, windy, especially if you live in a place like where I'm at. This is a windy time of year between February and April. Karen girl, what's going on with you? Got any new foods?
Well, everything is going well now. Nothing, no foods actually, no fruits. What happened yesterday is that we brought oranges. We thought that they were
for you.
Going to no, but they weren't actually. I don't know. This type of orange. It's the first time in my life that I taste such sour, terrible orange thing. So I don't know, maybe they call it the wild orange or something. I don't know, but it's really something terrible. I haven't tasted such orange in my whole life. Well, so it wasn't a pleasant experience. Yeah, and things are going well here. It's becoming springy. The weather is starting to become like spring. Actually, spring is coming. We didn't have real winter anyway, so. Yeah, but everything's going well. And I want to congratulate you, Warren, for the great achievement of the Pixel that was selected as the best phone during the...
Well,
Pixel
coming
9
from
Pro.
you, I am proud.
Well, no way. I'm being with Ed.
Yeah, but wait, I'm not saying that I'm with them. I'm saying what happened. So...
The Pixel was selected as the best phone of the year.
I'm
from
sure Google
MWC.
made some funds on you.
So that sounds
I
rigged.
love you, girl. Oh my goodness. Sally, so you're kind of poo-pooing my Pixel. Now tell me, you got a news quiz. Is that why? Tell me what's going on.
Well, not yet, not yet. I'm still in the process. Good news coming up, I think, in coming weeks, or I don't know. But everything is good here, though. It's like it's
Is it
raining
still
here.
snowing? Oh, okay.
It's raining. The snow is melting. It's raining. And yeah, just being a handsome gentleman here, just want to say Happy International Women's Day. I know when the episode is out, it will be late, but still today is the March 8th. So just want to say that.
Well, I didn't know that. Well,
What a
congratulations to you guys.
gentleman! What a gentleman!
Well, I know
Oh,
he's trying to worm his way through. This guy is brilliant.
I was gonna say that, but I forgot.
No,
Well, I don't.
I'm also a gentleman.
of course
I'm
you are.
terrible. The women will forgive me because I'm not good with anniversaries, and I even forget our wedding day. So don't hold that against me, guys. We love you. You're beautiful. Happy Women's Day or whatever that thing is.
stop
Terry?
giving excuses, you and John.
Warren, you can list every single day each QPR is released, but you don't know your wedding anniversary.
Yeah.
Well, my heart is somewhere. You know how that is.
And my heart is on sale.
It's always
so-
with Google.
Yeah, it's always with Google, isn't that something? But yeah, I didn't know. It seems like there's a day for everything. Probably there's a day for my damn cat as well. I'm almost positive. Cat day, something stupid like that. I'm not sure, but nowadays you realize that there's a day for just about everything.
Well,
There's
in
no way
Turkey,
under
we have
heaven
even
of
the day of tax, like tax day.
Yeah, we do have the tax day here too. That's I don't remember. Is it? I don't remember that date. I know
April 15th.
the 15th is the the closing. Yeah, that's the tax day for us.
That's the day.
Wait,
So you
is
have
it
to have
tax? The
everything done.
taxes? You mean the taxes?
Yeah, paying the taxes. Yes.
Oh God.
Yeah, so that's when finally the government will stop taking your moolah. Because first few months of the year you're basically working for the government.
Yeah, and here we have not paying the taxes day.
Good.
I don't love taxes. I'm one of those who's against taxes. But anyway, so this is going to be the tax podcast.
Yeah. VAT.
Yeah, there you go. Beautiful. And now, the Android Basics segment. This is a segment where we discuss the things that power your device from behind the scenes. And now, here's this week's episode, Android Basics. We now move on to the Android Basics segment, and today we're talking about the feature drop from Google, the March feature drop. If you recall, the December drop was a big one, but this is also a very large update for Google devices. I'll just go through some of the items that we find here that are of importance, or maybe listing just about all of them, and we'll put it in the show notes. But here's what we got. So Gemini Live video and screen sharing. In other words, you would be able to do more with your Gemini Live later this month, including the ability to use the camera in recognizing things. Next, we have the AI-powered scam protection in calls and text messaging. This feature that first got hinted at back in December as a scam call detector is now becoming available for messages as well, and not only for Google devices, but for a lot of Android phones that use the Google messages. So, in other words, if you have a device that uses Google messages, whether you use a Pixel phone or not, you would be able to have that scam detector. As for the scam call detector, this is only available on Pixel 9 series and only in the US. Next, dual screen video recording comes to the older Pixel Fold. Next, the Add Me feature arrives for the Pixel 9 Pro Fold. In other words, you can take those group pictures and then add yourself to it. Next, The GoPro camera streaming with Pixel 9 series, finding a way to integrate the GoPro to where one could now stream using multiple cameras through the Pixel phone. I don't know how that works, but in other words, so you'd be able to control those things with your Pixel device, or use multiple devices or cameras, but through your Pixel 9 series. Auto transcribe for audio files transferred to your phone in a recorder. So if you have the Google recorder, usually you record things with it and it can transcribe it. But now if you bring audio files from elsewhere and import it into the Google recorder, you should be able to get the transcript of those audio files. Next, you can now create images of people using the Pixel Studio. Next, people tracking. Yeah, John, you like people tracking? This is part of the Find My Device feature, and this people tracking would be found in the People tab as a beta. So in other words, the Find My Device is becoming more useful, not just to find your device, but you can also use it to track family members, or and you can share that. You can turn it off whenever, or you could say, I can only track or be tracked for X number of hours or whatever.
Yeah.
And
this is actually a really popular feature on iPhones for whatever reason. Like it's pretty normal for like husbands and wives just to have trackers like always on, and they can always look at their phones to see where the other person is. Like, it's a little weird, but I mean, I guess that's easier than like bothering them to be like, hey, where are you? When are you going to be home?
Yeah, that's kind of bad though. I don't know. I don't think I would use something like that. Maybe I'm stupid.
Because you're always up to no good.
I don't care where my wife is at, So I don't know. I'm not paranoid about things, but I know people that do, and I'm like, gosh, I wouldn't want to live like that. It's just kind of but at least
it kind of makes sense to me. Like you want to know how close they are to being home, but you don't want to like text them while they're driving. I mean, it does have
I see what you mean. It does make sense. Yeah,
as long as you trust each other, then see, that's the key.
Yeah, and it's a good thing because if something happens, you can see where they're at, and send people to go there. So yeah, it's a good thing. I agree. Next, satellite messaging on both T-Mobile and Verizon. According to Google, using the Pixel 9 series, one can now text friends, family, and anyone else. That's really interesting. But you have to be on either T-Mobile or Verizon. I don't know if it's going to trickle down to those of us that use the MVNOs. John, you and I are both MVNO users. Maybe. Who knows, right?
We'll find out.
We'll find out. Next, we have the Pixel screenshots, suggestions for collections. Next, we got the Pixel screenshot works with work profiles. In other words, you can now use this feature even on your work profile, something that wasn't previously possible. Up next, a new voice toolbar for talk to type in Gboard. You guys know we have the assistant typing on our Gboard on the Pixel phones, especially the newer ones. Now, the Gboard is getting a new voice toolbar that is supposed to be coming to all Android phones. And that would be nice because I've always wanted this to be not just for those of us with the Pixel phone, but something that should be for anyone using Android. And I think that should be really good, especially if it's coming from Gboard. Let it be. Next, modes. We talk about modes, which is a replacement for D&D. This was a feature that came with the drop of the Pixel 16 beta, or was it during the developer preview? I don't remember. Anyway, this is available to phones that would get this March feature drop. In other words, modes would become the norm, and I hope it trickles down to everybody, but that's what this is. Next, the March Pixel feature drop expands Google AI to Japan. In Japan, Pixel owners can now use Pixel screenshots, Pixel Studio, CAI weather reports, and pollen tracker and AI summaries in recorders. Next, Google AI expands to Germany. And if you're in Germany or if you're a German user, Pixel screenshots, Pixel Studio, and the Pixel AI weather experience is coming your way. Next, satellite SOS expands to Europe, Canada, Hawaii, and Alaska. If you live in any of these areas, be keeping an eye out for some of these things to be arriving in your area. Next, we got the Gemini Live expands to 45 languages with 2.0 Flash. So, the current one that we talked about, the Gemini Live 2.0 Flash we talked about, now it's supporting 45 different languages. So that's a good thing to see. And the next one is the multimodal capabilities expands to Pixel 6 and newer and Pixel Fold. In other words, multimodal capabilities in Gemini Live is expanding to the Pixel 6. Next, Pixel Watch, and this is the one that I think we mentioned this one earlier, a little bit about watches. I'm not buying another watch, but here, the Pixel Watch March feature that we got that dropped alongside with these March updates for the Pixel. I believe we mentioned the loss of pulse detector last week, John. I think was it last week we talked about that? We've mentioned that. In other words, Pixel Watch 3 has been cleared for that loss of pulse detection in the US. Alongside with that feature, the following features are also introduced to the updates. We got menstrual health for women on Pixel Watch 3, on-device menstrual tracking to help with logging of periods, viewing cycles, status, and the offering of predictions. I should have had Karine talk about this. So I'm kind of
I was going to say, in celebration,
Yeah.
in celebration of National Women's Day, they released this feature.
That's what exactly it is. And John, you're brilliant. That's what.
He's trying to compensate for what he did before.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Yeah. So great stuff there. Next, there's a greater step accuracy. There's an updated algorithm on all Pixel watches to try and track steps with greater accuracy. The next one, the auto bedtime mode on Pixel 2. In other words, this feature that used to be found only on the Pixel 3, Pixel Watch 3 is now available on the Pixel 2. This feature will detect when you fall asleep, and once it kicks into place, it would both turn off watch faces, disable those notifications. You guys know I don't like notifications anyway. Thus preventing distraction when you are asleep, and will resume normal duty once it realizes you are awake. Fast forward, rewind, and playback speed controls. This is something that would be arriving on all available watches. So if you have any of those watches, those are some of the things to look forward to. And that would be it for, the watches and also for the Pixel drop for the month of March.
And I think it's worth mentioning that this time around, this is the final feature drop, because in June, when we would normally get the next feature drop, we're actually going to be getting Android 16.
That's right. And so the next feature drop is not going to be till, especially for the watch, it's going to be not going to be again till June. But, in June, of course, we're going to have that brand spanking new Android 16, like John mentioned. So we're looking forward to it. I think we're in for a good treat here, something to look forward to.
So I have a question. Actually, I know this has been discussed on the Telegram group regarding the lost pulse detection. Is it called like this? So what's the point? I didn't actually read the article that Jerry, I think, shared, and I'm not really a watch person, but well, what's the point about all of this? So what does it do actually?
So the whole idea, though, for some reason, I thought we talked about it on our podcast, but like you said, I think it was on the Telegram group that we were probably talking about. So what it is that I can see its usefulness. For example, if you have an elderly person that probably live on their own and things like that, if that pulse is not being detected, it will send out that SOS, or whoever you've configured to have, those notifications sent to them. It will send it to let you know something odd is going on here. I'm not feeling any, pulse from this person. And so, you could either have emergency care rush there, or you could rush there yourself. So it's a good thing. It got approved here by the people in charge. And so I see its usefulness, especially for people like that. And also, God forbid, your one is in an accident or whatever. I don't know, but they're always thinking ahead. For me, I think that's one of the usage of this type of features, especially for those that live alone and very feeble.
Yeah, I agree. Actually, there are people who die and they are just not discovered until maybe 3 days or 4 days, which is something really, like, it's heartbreaking to have someone that for this period of time without being discovered. So I think, yeah, this could be something useful, especially if the person could get a watch and have it send the emergency message to, for example, the Red Cross or any service in the country. Like, if the person doesn't have anyone to help, or doesn't have friends or family members or stuff, so those people could just send the message to maybe emergency services of the country or any something like this. I think this would be great.
You mentioned something there, Karen, which is very important. Yeah, I've heard a lot of stories that, someone passed away and they didn't know. And I think it was last week or the week before, some very popular person here, I think Gene Hackman. I think you guys that are in the movies may know that person.
Yeah, Gene Hackman and his wife.
Yeah, so they were dead for quite a while and no one knew. So, I mean, the watch would have come in handy, letting people know no pulse was being detected. So seriously, it's a good feature. And I think people that live on their own should have this, especially if they're up there in years. Welcome to the Spotlight segment. This is a segment dedicated to interviews with developers or interesting happenings in the world of Android. And now for this week's episode, here's your Spotlight. Let's now turn on to the Spotlight. And of course, this week we're talking about that MWC, lots of phones and all of that good stuff, crazy stuff. If you want crazy stuff, this is a time for it, whether CES or MWC, but we always see a lot of phones that would come out during the year. Some never see the light of day, but yet they show them here from concepts to whatever. Karine, can you get us started on this? Because I know you are the premier person to talk about MWC. What are some of your crazy stuff or some of the interesting phones that you think were debuted or, shown during the MWC in Barcelona?
Well, this week was really the week of phones. There were a lot of announcements. There were a lot of phones, and there were interesting phones. The regular Xiaomi stuff, 15 Ultra. We had the A series, the Trio, Samsung Trio. But I think this was before MWC. I'm unsure. I'm unsure if they did the announcement during MWC or before it, directly before it. I think that was before it.
It was before, but the phones were still there.
Yeah, but technically it's before the show itself. So this is the point. And so also there's the interesting phone, the Armor phone, or actually 2 phones or 3, the 25,000 milliamp hours battery. I think it's something that Warren would love, and Saleh, of course.
Yeah, I want to get that.
When it comes to big phones like that, put my name on it. 25,000 milliamp is a great phone. I would be using that thing for probably maybe a month before I even put it on the charger.
That's crazy.
Yeah, no, but I like that because it's a powerhouse. It's not just a phone, but you can do a lot of things with it. It's a projector. You could also use it as a lamp or whatever, a flashlight. Power bank. You could charge other devices with it. I think this is intended to be, a device that, no matter the situation, you're ready for the action. You know what I mean? Because there are times that you're not ready for something, or something catches you unaware and you find yourself in a bind. This one will get you out of that bind.
I want to agree. I want to agree with you on this, just like Gary. And I want to say that this is really a great concept for those who need it. Especially, we really needed that 2 years ago when we had a big earthquake. Like sometimes you need that. You need your battery to be able to contact people. Like these modern flagship, crazy, shiny phones have really poor batteries when it comes to that. So imagine you're under the rugs like 2 days and you're looking for help. Your phone is out of battery and you're stuck. You don't know where to go. You don't know who to call. But those phones can save your life, definitely.
And even if you don't use it as a phone, you could still think of it as an accessible battery pack, because a lot of these batteries that you buy, you don't have any idea how charged they are or anything. But, the fact that you can just use TalkBack to tell you the amount of battery left, means, if nothing else, it's an accessible battery pack.
Yeah. Do you want me to pay $400 just to get an accessible battery pack? No, I don't want to know how much the charge is. and actually, also, I should wait for an earthquake to benefit from my phone. Completely.
No, it's not for just in case. We never knew that what would happen. I was seeing from the news, people were expecting some news from the loved ones, but all they hear is their battery's running out.
They had iPhones.
This thing is. Okay, even if we think of it as a power bank, this is a power bank, like John says, has a screen reader, can make calls, receive calls, do all your social media stuff.
I love it.
I'm just trying to put a positive spin on it.
Yeah,
I would
exactly.
never use this thing as a phone.
Exactly. And you can
I would never buy this
You
thing
can take
either.
pictures with it. You can project things with it. So definitely, this
I'm
is
sure
a
it also has
gentleman's
a really
phone.
decent speakers, right?
Exactly.
Yeah, they mentioned the speakers actually in one of the phones. They are extra loud, and
and I'm sure it has an FM radio.
Yeah, it will have an FM radio. Yeah, exactly. It should have an FM radio. So see, frankly, if I were living in a place that doesn't have constant electricity, This is going to be my phone because I personally don't mind, chunky phones. I know Karen doesn't like those big things, big boys and all of that. But for me, I'm all for that big stuff. Give me the big stuff and I'll be happy. I don't need to be reaching for the charger now and then. I don't want that.
Warren, this is our motto. Give us that junk food and give us that big phones.
Exactly. Thank you. Exactly. So what else is there, Karen? So there are some of those Samsung ones that you talk about. What are some of these A series phones that were either debuted on that day or just before MWC?
So the Samsung Trio, because there are three phones, the A26, A36, A56, they released them together at the same time. Actually, the prices are slightly different between the three, but of course the highest priced one, or it's the best A series phone is the A56. It's like we can say that it's the one below the S series, directly below the S series phones. Actually, they had some design changes. Like, first of all, now with the A55, you have the cameras not as like multiple cameras. You can feel them. They're circles below each other, but they included all of the cameras under one. Let's say camera bump. We can say this. So they are now under, like, it's a unified one, so you won't feel three, you will feel only one. Actually, the processor of the A56 is better than the A55. It's now the 1580 Exynos chip. They say that it's better by 30% compared to the ones found in the A55, which is, let's say it's really good, actually. Well, the A55 isn't bad, but having this increase in performance is something that we should, appreciate and say kudos to Samsung for doing this. Of course, it won't be like an S-series phone, but it's a good thing anyway. They're still having the same 5,000 milliamp hour battery. No change. The screen size is now 6.7 instead of 6.6 with the A55. They are still with the 8 gigs of RAM. I don't think that they have 12 gigs. I don't remember if they had, but I don't think so. Actually, the only big...
maybe had a 12 as far as I remember, but I'm not quite sure.
Does it? I'll take a look. But actually, there are no important differences between the A55 and the A56, except for the processor and the
and also
updates. Wait, I'm talking about the hardware. And also you have the... And I have a lot of complaints regarding the updates, actually. And you
no.
Wait, I'll tell you. Yeah, we have also the charging speed. Finally, Samsung.
Sally, remember, this is the Women's Day, so let the lady talk. Yeah. Go ahead.
Stay as a gentleman,
Samsung
as you
take
were.
That One UI 7 and put it where the sun don't shine.
Well, look here. It's not there. There's a bigger problem actually than One UI 7. It's in the concept itself. So let's continue with the hardware. They increased the charging speed finally to 45 watts, which is nothing compared to what Chinese brands are offering, but it's good for the Samsung, which was always conservative regarding the charging speed.
And that's actually faster than the S25, isn't it? The base S25? Yeah,
it is actually, which is they're doing crazy stuff actually recently, including this charging speed bump in the S20, the A56, and leaving the S25 at 25 watts. So that's crazy actually. But well, this is the main difference between these are the main differences between the A55 and the A56. And the software updates thing. Now the Trio A26, 56, 36, and the A16 as well have 6 years of updates, which is great for mid-rangers because now, for example, the A56, which is the most expensive, is about 400 something here, I think. It could reach 500 maybe in Europe, but the price drops quickly. So after that, you could get it for 400, for 300 something. So it's the most expensive one. So if you are able to get 6 years of updates, this is great. 6 years of software updates, upgrades, and 6 years of security patches. But the thing is that, for example, the A26 actually has the Exynos 1380, which was in the A35 last year, and then the A54 the year before. And it's actually an older processor compared to what we have in the A55. But the A26 will get the 6 years of updates, whereas my A55 will get just 4 years of updates. So think about it. What are they doing? I don't know. Why is this? Also,
well, they want you to trade your A55 in. That's the whole idea. You could trade it in and get an updated processor.
A26, it's the A26 is older with an older processor. So why on earth should it get the better treatment? But yeah, this is the thing. Moving to the A36, it's running, this time it's running a Snapdragon processor. It's the first time I think that they use a Snapdragon processor for the A30 phone. Is it the Snapdragon 6 Gen 3? Anyone remembers?
Yeah, 6 Gen 3, yeah.
Yeah, so it's a good one, actually. I think it can be considered as an upgrade compared to last year's A35, which had the same processor that's now in the A26, actually. So it's a good upgrade. I want to just say something about the A56. It has the aluminum. It has a metallic frame and glass back. Victus Plus, I think, for both back and front, which is also good. So the A36, I don't really remember the specs. Someone else could take this. And going to the A26, it's running the same processor that was in the A35 last year and in the A54 the year before. The Snapdragon, the Exynos 1380. It's a good one because of the 6 years of updates. It's a plastic thing, but it works. I mean, it's about $200 something, so we don't have a lot of things to compare about. But yeah, I was interested about the A56 and the A36, which are the phones that I could get if I'm going to get a Samsung. But for me, no upgrade. Actually, the processor is better, and I think that it will be a good upgrade if I'm going with Samsung. But for me, I'm done with Samsung. It's over. So I don't think that I'll be getting any Samsung sooner or later, until they just stop the stock back separation thing, and until they fix the upgrade thing and the software stuff, because 116 is now like, it's just a few months and we will be having 116, but Samsung is not giving us 115 until I think until mid-April, and I think the A series would get it in May, so it's a long wait.
Now, Karin, this is interesting though, because I was reading, someone wrote something about the A56 and comparing it to the S25 Ultra, and he's saying dollar for dollar, the A56 is a better buy. I couldn't believe what I was reading, but it's that good of a phone, and with the aluminum body and all of the chassis, it's a great phone. I'm really glad though that we have these, because let's face it, not everyone is willing or is able to dump off $1,000 or over $1,000 on a damn phone that is just a phone when it's all when it all comes down to it, it's just a phone. What do? We phone to make calls, and we send text messages or check on those social media sites, and all of these, budget to mid-range phones have the capability of doing all of that. So I'm glad that we have these things because everyone can find where it fits them, and you're not going to be pining away or kind of being jealous someone has something you can't afford and all of that. I think the A56 is probably going to be a very good selling phone for Samsung. You talked about the A16. Like I said, my neighbor a couple of weeks ago got the A16. I really like how it feels in the hand, that boxy feel that I don't like, yet it's so reminiscent of the Fruitvale phone and also reminiscent of the Pixel 9 series, how boxy it feels in the hand. But it feels good. I wish it were metallic, but it's plastic. But then most people would put their phones in a case anyways. So what's the point? For me, I get a phone, it's going to go into that case. And as long as it's in that case, who cares what it is? But I think that A56, if I were looking for a mid-range phone and I'm a Samsung kind of guy, I think the A56 would be the one I'll go for if I don't have enough moolah for a phone. That's a good balance.
But it's important to wait for people who want to purchase these phones, especially the A56. It's going to drop. The price is going to drop quickly. I mean, in the first months, you will get it with at 450 or 500 in some countries. And here, I think last year it was $450, and then it dropped to 425, then 400, and now you could get it with for 350 or something. So I think it's better always to wait for 2 or 3 months and get it after that, because this will give you better price, and this will make it also better as a choice.
A lot of other phones are going to come out, and then we're going to be, once the new devices from Samsung comes through, in the summer, and you have stuff from Google come through, definitely these ones are going to come down in price. And then, of course, rolling toward the end of the year, you'd even get it cheaper. So it's always that we're not patient enough, or we're impatient, kind of wanting it now and all of that. But definitely, if one has something that is going to hold them through this time, I'll say wait and then get a great phone for in the $300 range.
So there are a lot of things like showcasing AI on new phones, but let's talk about Nothing. I mean, Nothing phones, they released not the base 3, but they released 3A and 3A Pro. The Pro one is going to have Snapdragon 7S3 processor, and it's going to come with 3 major upgrades, which is good for Nothing. And I think for those looking for affordable phones from Nothing with unique designs, looking to have a unique design phones, great cameras, Nothing phone is going to be nice. And of course, for those looking for affordable phones, HMDs, they released stylish phones featuring some players from FC Barcelona, the football club. So if you're using the HMD phones, you can see special messages for you from the football players on your home screen. Or I don't know how it happens, but they will say it's pretty special for those football fans.
So in other words, it's an ad get.
Yeah.
Here you go, boy. You want to know what the score is? Here's your score. But talking about the Nothing phone, guys, so there are 3 of them, but here's what I'm thinking about the Nothing phones, the 3A series, is that frankly, I think they're going to give Samsung and Google a run for their moolah, because that thing is selling for $379, and it's a damn good phone. It is a good mid-ranger.
Yeah.
Why would I want to put 400 and something plus on an A series phone from Google that's actually maybe it's going to be $500, or an A series from Samsung when I can get this one for under $400. It's a very good phone, and the arena of phones now is kind of becoming some place where one has to, carefully look at what you want and think about what you want, because you pay that money and then tomorrow, like you said, Karen, the price drops and you feel like you lost your money. I'm looking at my Pixel 9 XL Pro. How much did I get that thing for? Almost $1,600. Then,
Yeah.
And then later on,
because you needed 1 terabyte.
When you said $1,600, I'm gonna tell you a phone which costs like $200. It's from well-trusted TCL. So those phones are paper phones, like paper screens, like Nexty paper. I don't know how you call it, but they are
ink screens.
Yeah, they are receiving a battery upgrade from 5,000 to 5,200. So it's going to be a little bit upgrade if you're looking for like a better battery. And those phones are $200. And they will be receiving 2 major upgrades, which is not too bad.
It's really interesting. We have all of these things, these phones that we have. To me, the more of these we have, the better it is for the consumer, because we have a choice, right? If I don't want to be dumping that moolah, I want to take some moolah and go eat some steak instead, or, celebrate Women's Day or something like that. I got some moolah left then to, check that cute thing out and give her a whirl, something like that. So, I can see why it's good to research and get what is good for the dollar, because when it's all said and done, the thing comes down in price and you feel like you are cheated. I sometimes feel like that with the devices I got, and I'm saying to myself, maybe I should have waited. And I'm looking at the watches and all of that. And frankly, I think this year I'm not going to buy a watch. I'm just saying that out there, because I haven't even put that on ever since I got that watch. And every year, I'm going to get a watch. And now, I'm done.
Yeah, but cut it out, because you're going to buy the watch whenever Google releases it. So it's very clear that from now.
There you go.
I want to carry in. I'm like you. I'm done with the watch for now, at least maybe for a year or two. So I'm done.
When I say I'm done, I know that I'm done really. But for you, whenever Google releases something, you're going to buy it. So
we'll see. But I'm done with the watches. Yeah.
What about when I say I'm done? Do you guys believe me?
I don't.
That's all.
No,
that's all.
No. You can never be done.
All right. I'm done with this podcast.
You're not even on your life.
I'm still betting.
And it's not a phone, but the Chinese guy's owner is going bigger with update promises. They are going to be giving 7 major upgrades, Android updates to the Magic series, the flagship phones from Honor. So I hope somebody really buys one of those phones to see how it performs in action in terms of accessibility. I was about to do that, but I went to the safer zone to go with Samsung.
You are too chicken. I think maybe it rains a lot of chicken in Turkey. I was counting on you. Maybe you could get that Honor 7 Pro or whatever. That's the one that's going to get 7 years.
I went to see that phone, but that looked kind of heavy to me. I don't know.
Well, I thought you and I like the heavy stuff. No,
like that. not that sense. They were 2 big cameras, and I don't know.
Sally, I think you're just trying to find a reason, which is flimsy at best. Just tell me you just are, strongly based in the Samsung.
I wasn't brave enough to go with it. There you go.
I wonder if Amazon would have it. You think they would have it on Amazon? One gets it, checks it out, and maybe send it back. I don't know that anyone carries it here in the States. No, we don't. And so I'm not sure if it would be compatible with some of our networks, for example. I know T-Mobile mainly probably might work on T-Mobile.
eSIM, though.
It supports the eSIM.
Yeah.
Oh, that's good. Yeah, but I mean, you could support the eSIM. It's not the problem. It's not the eSIM, but the problem is whether it support the radios that are used in a certain country, especially
Yeah.
here. Yeah.
Well, never mind, my friend. Just if you can't use it, just send it here.
Yeah, that's right. So, frankly, I think Honor, wasn't it like something that broke out of Huawei? They were
Yeah,
kind
yeah,
of the
yeah.
factory out
They
of
parted,
Huawei.
and
Yeah,
now they're independent.
yeah. And you know, they make a very good phones. I remember I got one for my daughter, and actually, I think it worked with Simple Mobile, which was um, a T-Mobile offshoot, and I think that was the Honor 6 or Honor 5 something, one of those back in the day. I'm talking about like 2018 here, and I like the build of the phones. They're just like Huawei phones. Huawei built really nice feeling phones in the hand, beautifully crafted
Exactly,
phones, and
exactly.
you know, the Honor phones are just like that too. So I wish we had Huawei. It almost did come here, but you know, of course, the rest of the story is out the window. But they have nicely crafted phones, and so if you want something that feels like a Huawei, but you can get a Huawei with a Play Store, then Honor will be the way to go.
So one last phone would be from ZTE. They have like maybe a Music 2 phone, which has 3 speakers. The 2 speakers are like probably everybody knows where they are, but there is the 3rd speaker near the back camera. It's a large speaker which can give you 95 decibels of sound, which is really, really loud.
So in other words, we have a subwoofer.
Yeah. That's crazy.
Yeah.
You have to be
You
careful
know,
where you set your phone while it's playing music because it could take itself off the table.
it can bounce it off. That's right.
Mhm.
So you know what it reminds me of is when I was a kid. We used to have those boom boxes, and you know, you put it on your shoulder, and you're feeling kind of like a very important person. That music pouring out, and so I can see this as a little boom box.
So Xiaomi is going big with 15 Ultra. They are going with a really big screen, almost 6.8, and they will be featuring a Xiaomi Shield glass. I don't know how it performs and how it's durable. I'm not quite sure, but they think it's one of the best in terms of the durability. And they will be giving you 4 major upgrades, starting with Android 15, and it's coming with HyperOS of their own Android skins. They will have they will have Snapdragon Elite processor, and it comes with 12 gigs of RAM, and it's going to be featuring like 256 or 512, or it can. I'm not sure if it has the 1 TB with 16 everywhere, but in China it will be 1 TB to 16 gigs of RAM if you're in China. So they will have 4 cameras. I don't know what they are doing with those pretty big cameras in the back. They will be like 32 megapixels of front camera. That's amazing, I guess.
I don't know why they're only giving 4-year upgrades. So it seems,
Yeah,
I
yeah.
mean, we're talking about 6 years on an A series from Samsung, for example, and someone like Xiaomi. And these are quality devices, and Snapdragon, you know, chips and all of that. And why are they only doing 4 years of updates?
Exactly. Maybe next year they will be coming like following Honor to give you 7 years. And there is a separation, Korean. Samsung gives you 12-week separation, but Xiaomi gives you battery separation. In China, it's going to be 6,000 milliamperes, and international, it's going to be 5,400 milliamperes of battery. Yeah. And it's going to be 90 watts of quick charging. This is wow.
So when it comes to all this charging thing, you know, frankly, I think most people put their phones on the charger overnight.
Yeah,
why not just say 10-watt charging? I mean, so really, what's the
Google
point?
guys, stop it. Stop it.
No, I'm serious. Why would I put my phone overnight with something that is 60 watt? Frankly, if you're going to leave something overnight on the charger, then you're probably better off with a 10-watt or 5-watt charger. Come on.
I don't do it. Whenever my phone needs charging, I put it on, and I don't want to wait 3 hours or 4 hours to get my phone charged.
Yeah, but
I mean, I
if
have a
you're gonna
Samsung.
be
I can't say
sleeping-
a lot, but
Yeah, but guys,
If
speaking
you're
of the
going to be
battery,
sleeping and being overnight, what's the point?
But why
That's my
can't you
whole
have both,
argument.
Warren? Like I charge mine 15 watts technically because I use like a MagSafe case and a MagSafe charger, so it's only charging wirelessly at 15 watts, and that's how I charge it at night. But then, like if I ever forget to charge it at night or I just need a top up at some point, I'm going to use the fast charger, just plug it in for like 20 minutes and get a lot of my battery back.
yeah.
Yeah.
yeah, and
but
sometimes you
still-
forget that you need to charge the phone, and you want to go out, and oh my God, the phone is like the battery is low. What should I do? In this situation, having the fast charging thing is really a saver.
Yeah, or if you
I-
fall
I
asleep with the phone on, fall asleep
Yeah.
with your phone on you, and you forgot to put it on the charger, and you wake up late.
Guys, do you know if there are any wireless chargers can be up to 80, but Xiaomi will support 80 watts of quick charging with wireless? This is crazy. And I don't know why the separation is there for battery capacities. This is no good for international users. It's going to be better in China, but in
Is
Europe...
it that they're using, maybe they're using the silicon carbon
Yeah,
type
exactly.
of battery in China,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
the old lithium ion kind of battery everywhere else? Is that what's happening? Because they're probably the same physical size, right? Because it's the same device.
I think they're using same batteries, but international, it's lower capacity. In China, it's going to be 6,000. I think this is no good.
Saleh, your friends at Honor do the same thing. with the
Yeah, I
Magic.
know.
So
They're not,
it's
they're not
also
my
not
friends.
good.
I mean,
You're praising
yeah,
them all the
they're
time,
not
and then
his friend.
Xiaomi is
He
doing the
shied
bad
away
thing.
from them. Remember,
Yeah.
Karen? He shied away from Honor, so they're not his friends.
I'm
let's
playing
be
the
honest,
chicken here. So.
Samsung is his friend. Raining a lot of chickens down there in Turkey. So when it comes to salad, you can't count on that boy.
He can count on me for not
I mean,
doing
when
that.
Getting a
comes to
Samsung phone. Getting a Samsung
Yeah,
phone.
the Samsung phone, yeah.
When it comes to phones, you can count on him on the Samsung
Yeah.
side of things, but Honor, nah, maybe second try. Yeah, that's how I see it.
Yeah,
But-
well, that was an honor still.
Yeah, it's honorable. Let's be
Yeah.
honest. You want some honor. Just be honorable and get something out of honor.
Maybe I will get a tablet. Who knows?
Just one thing that there's also the 15, the Xiaomi regular 15, not the Ultra, which is considered a mini because right now we call the 6.1 inch mini. So it's sort of a smaller screen. It has the same 8 Elite chip, which is good, and it's. I think it's similar in specs, except I think the battery and the cameras. But the problem, according to reviewers, is that the phone has serious overheating issues because of the smaller size. So it isn't easy to get rid of the heat, especially that you're using the Elite, which is actually the best processor from Qualcomm. So it's overheating, like it's something serious, according to reviewers. So for me, if I'm going to get a Xiaomi phone, a high-end Xiaomi phone, I would be getting the 15, not the Ultra, because of this size. But this overheating thing makes users just makes them think twice or maybe more before getting it, because you don't want to get a phone which has the best processor and then you couldn't use the power of the phone just because it overheats. So this is a real problem. Actually, it's a good phone, but this is a real serious problem.
Karine, remember me complaining about like ChatGPT making my phone overheating last night? So if you're using a smaller phone, you're gonna have like a heater in your hands.
But the Plus isn't a small phone, actually.
Well, I mean, I was complaining just getting this overheated. So imagine in a small phone. I remember my S23 getting overheated, and it was taking forever to get cold. So imagine you're having a smaller phone in the same problem that will make
you can
you
use it
feel...
as a toaster, which is good.
Yeah. And rumor has it the Galaxy S20 or the Galaxy Edge, whatever they're calling it, the thin Galaxy phone that's coming out, it's going to technically have the Snapdragon Elite chip, but they're not going to have all the cores. Like, it's going to have a core disabled just because of heat issues.
And now, the unboxing segment. This is a segment dedicated to the unboxings of phones, tablets, watches, or any hardware device having to do with Android. And now, here's this episode's unboxing. Let's now move on to the next segment, and this is the hardware segment, and this is the Ruki, R-U-K-I. Our friend Aaron Spears now shows you how to put on that screen protector. Aaron?
I've got to put the screen protector on my Pixel 9 Pro, and I normally buy Zag screen protectors, and this time I got Ruki, R-U-K-I. I just got them off of Amazon, and I'm used to getting Zag, but they were like $50, and the Ruki you get a 2-pack instead of just one for like $14, and they were still tempered glass, so I imagine they're probably not quite as good, but it wasn't worth that much to me. So I've already opened this up to get some idea of what I got and how this works, because the whole point of getting the Zag screen protectors in the past was to get a mounting frame that went around your phone, and it had little holes or tabs, and then the screen protector out of the box, it had film on both sides, and on one of the films has things extending past the edge of the screen protector itself, and there's holes in it that line up with those pegs. So what you do is you put, with the Zag anyway, you put the frame around the phone, kind of like a case, but it only goes around the outside. It just kind of snaps around the phone, and then you take the screen protector and you peel the back side of the glass, rear film off the glass, and you affix it the right way. You can't put it upside down because the tabs, the holes are further apart at the bottom than they are at the top, and the frame only wants to go around one way. They design it so that it interferes with the buttons or something like that, so you, in theory, can't put it around backwards and have your screen protector end up being upside down. And the inside out part, you just figure it out because only one layer of the film has the things that go on those pegs. So you take the other part off first, and then you snap it onto the pegs. Well, this isn't Zag, different, and I think I might actually like it better, but we'll see what happens when we get done installing. So this came with a frame, and I noticed that the screen protector itself has like one side of it has this long ribbon, like 8 inches long. So I'm thinking, what's the deal with that? And I think I'm figuring it out. So what I believe the situation is here is you mount it on the frame first, and it does have little dimples or whatever you want to call it, like notches at the bottom of the spikes. So when you kind of snap them on, and now the frame and the screen protector are one piece, and I can hold the frame upside down and the screen protector is not coming out. Well, that long ribbon is inside the frame. So my theory now is that with the frame already put together, you peel the back off by pulling on this long ribbon. Then you set it down on the phone and you try to make sure the glass gets affixed to the screen of the phone. And once you're done with that, you pull the tabs at the top off of their little spike things and then kind of roll downward with it and gradually peel the film off of the screen protector, and it should be a perfect install. It should be easy to do. So the packet did come with 2 things of alcohol. I guess those are alcohol. Let's find out here. Let's open one of them. Got to figure out how. I guess you just tear it like that. And you get in there. Okay, we've got a microfiber. So is this not going to actually be wet? Oh, there's a wet one in here too. So I don't know the process here because I'm not reading the manual. But I'm going to take the microfiber, which I'm going to have to keep these after the fact because they're really neat looking, and put it like, I'll just lay it on top of the upside down screen protector thing. And here's an alcohol pad looking thing, and I'm gonna peel it open. Alright, it's got 1 in it, and it unfolded 2 ways, so it made like a 2x2 square. And I'm started at the top and going in circle, trying to do a real good job. I've already alcoholed it off anyway. I used my shirt tail and sprayed with my spray bottle of alcohol. Going back down, going back up, going back down, back up.
11:34 a.m. Battery level. Alarm. No flashlight off switch. Screen locked.
Back down. It might wake up more than once. And we're just, I'm just trying to use up the whole pad. They weren't playing, and it's plenty damp, so I'm just keeping going until it's kind of not damp anymore.
11:35 a.m. Battery level. Screen locked. 11:30 p.m. is required after too many attempts. Screen locked.
Okay. Could have turned the phone off, but I don't want to touch the screen to turn it off now.
a.m. Screen locked. 11:35 a.m. Battery level. 32. Screen locked.
What it's doing is it's thinking I'm doing the fingerprint. I've got it set not to wake on tap, but every time I get close to the fingerprint reader, it talks.
11:35 a.m. Battery level. Screen locked.
It's got an interesting smell. I don't think this is alcohol. So that's interesting to me. I'm assuming that this is better to use than the alcohol.
11 p.m. is required.
It came with it, so
Screen locked.
I'm using what it came with. Of course, I already made a good start.
11. Swipe up to open.
Like I
Screen
said.
locked.
Alright, that's mostly dry. I'm going to take the microfiber and rub up and down the screen now, and my theory is that'll kind of dry it out a little bit.
11. Enter PIN. Screen locked. 11. Enter PIN. Screen locked. 11:36. Emergency dialer.
No.
Emergency dialer. Screen locked.
Don't do that.
11 PIN is required after too many attempts. Screen locked.
Okay, it's probably dry enough. Okay, now I've picked up the frame, and there's a certain way the frame goes because I have to make sure that I put the side that's going to avoid the buttons on the phone. So I'm looking at the buttons on the phone, they're on its right side near the top. The only way the frame can go on that won't hit those buttons is like this. So I'm double checking and my film is still snapped onto the frame good, so I'm going to take the ribbon and pull straight downward, and I have set that aside, and in theory the screen is kind of sticky underneath, so I'm not going to touch that, and I'm going to set the frame down on top of the phone as best I can, like that. And they gave me a thing that kind of looks like a scraper. You're probably supposed to use it to take the film off. I'm gonna rub left and right. One side of it's like this rubbery.
11 PIN is required after too many attempts.
I can't turn it off because the frame's got the button covered up. But I'm just going across and across and across and across, left to right. I can't go up and down because it's too wide.
Screen locked.
Make sure I don't have any bubbles, and I can't see the bubbles if I do have any, so I just am doing this plenty to make sure. Probably good to go. So now I'm gonna release the top of the film like this, and then I think I gotta roll back like this. Okay. Can I go ahead and take the bottom off? That way I can get the frame off of the phone. Now I should be able to pull the phone. Yeah, okay, now I've got the phone left and the screen protector is still on the phone, of course.
11 PIN is required after too many attempts. Screen
I
locked.
can push the button now. And the little spudger thing, now I can go up and down because I don't have a frame in the way. Or whatever you call this, scraper. Not really a spudger. Okay, so what's the best step to install this? If I had to guess, I'd say you start at the bottom. Yep, the glass is staying on the phone. I'm just going up from the bottom toward the top of the phone, and I'm raising up the glass, the film thing, and I'm
Screen locked.
making sure that the glass stays on the phone. Okay, I'm done. I've taken the whole outer film off, and now I have a phone with a screen protector on it.
Screen locked.
It feels pretty good. I'm going around the outside. It's very, very, very close to being right. If it's off a little bit, it's a tiny, tiny bit too far to the right, and it wouldn't even be a 1/16 of an inch at the bottom versus the top. The top would be perfect, and the bottom is just a teeny, tiny bit off, maybe. So, real quick, let me take the case that the phone came in. I'm gonna alcohol that a little bit. use the old shirt tail. So this is a Spygen liquid air case. And it does not have a screen protector, so you have to buy your own screen protector if you want your screen protected. Okay, now if I put this on the phone, what does it feel like? Okay, it's on the phone, and really what it did, seems like it worked pretty much perfect. Like all the way around the phone, I can't tell.
is required after too many attempts.
I can't tell that it has a screen protector on it. I might be able to tell up here at the top. Yeah, maybe at the top. It's got a tiny bit of a gap at the top. But feeling around the outside, it seems like it perfectly... The lip on the case is perfectly lined up with the edge of the glass. Like, okay, so that, I like how that worked. That did pretty good, really. And now if I want to...
11:43 a.m. battery locked screen. Locked screen. Device locked.
Can't use the fingerprint because it
Locked screen.
used it too
Screen
many
locked.
times. So, yeah, that's how you install a screen protector. So this brand was Ruki. I think I spelled it R-U-K-I. So now I have 2 layers of film to throw away. I gotta keep the frame because I got another glass in the box here if I ever need to replace the screen protector. So I'm gonna put the scraper in there. That microfiber, not sure what to do with it, to be honest with you. I want to keep it. So I'll put it up on their shelf next to the recorder. And those inner and outer film I'm gonna throw away. So the frame is going back in the box. And the little scraper spreader outer, I'm gonna throw away this package that had the alcohol and microfiber in it. And this is an instruction sheet that I'll put on top of the frame in the box. And I've got the other microfiber wipe and alcohol, or whatever that wet stuff that I said probably isn't even alcohol, in the box. And now I'm going to slide the case back into the box. If nothing else, if I ever let this phone go, I can put a brand new screen protector on it before it goes out the door. I think somebody might appreciate that. Okay. Let me pause the recording and put in my PIN. Okay. I've entered my PIN and I'm now on the home screen. So I'm going to lock the screen.
Screen locked.
And attempt to use the fingerprint.
11:46 a.m. battery level 12. Folder music 2
Took 2
items.
tries, but I'm in. So I'm going to do that again.
Screen locked. 11:46 a.m. battery level 12.
2 tries again.
Folder blind the camera 4 or more items. Screen locked.
Failed.
11:46 a.m.
2 tries
battery
again.
level 12. Screen locked.
Okay.
11:46 a.m. battery level screen locked.
2 tries again. What's the deal with it?
11:46 a.m. battery level 12.
1 try that time. I pushed it harder.
Screen locked. 11:46 a.m. battery level 12. Screen locked.
That one failed.
11:47
That one
a.m.
worked.
battery level 12.
Okay, so it's working, but it might not be working quite as well. I might have to retrain it because the fact that I have to touch it harder than I did makes me wonder if just even, the tiny bit of separation that my fingers got from the surface of the screen is throwing it off a little bit now. So that's interesting to me, but
Screen locked.
that is a phone that now has a screen protector that's been more or less perfectly installed.
Thank you so much, Aaron. I know it's usually hard for a lot of people to put on those screen protectors and tempered glass on their phone. Sometimes you put it on and, there's a little bubble in there. It's very hard to get those things right. But with this device, probably it's going to make it better for people to be able to put on their screen protectors. So maybe it's going to be a selling point for the Ruki if you don't have enough money to buy the Zag. And John, there was another one you tried to use. That was the dome, the one from the Stone Dome.
Don't remind me. That was such a failure.
Dome Rock, Dome Stone. What was it called? Something.
Yeah, something like that. It was the one where you actually had to put the adhesive on yourself and like release it out of this tube and then like spread it. Like it is basically impossible for someone to do blind. But I attempted it, made a big mess, and then my wife had to clean it up.
Well, thank God for women and the International Day of Women. So this would be something easy for blind people to do. So at least we have the Zag, and then we have the Ruki.
And there's the easiest one, which is...
Sorry, Karen, take that again.
And there is the easiest one, which is not to have a screen protector at all. Don't apply a screen protector and you will be fine.
And your fingerprint sensor will work a lot better.
Exactly, much better.
And I say no. Never use your phone that you dump a bunch of moolah on running around naked. Sally, what do you say?
Well, I agree because, you cannot buy it again. So just apply that screen protector and you will be better.
Exactly. And the thing always look good. Phone is in pristine condition, especially if it also has
Warren, this is gonna rub you the wrong way, but not only did I not put a screen protector on my OnePlus, but they come with a factory pre-installed like film screen protector on it, and I took it off because I didn't even want it on there, so I took that.
Oh no!
Yeah.
Why? I wouldn't take that off. I mean, it's not going to hurt you.
I just like how the glass feels. Like it's better feeling, and the fingerprint sensor works better. It's just better without. In my opinion, everybody's different, obviously, but yeah, I don't.
This is why I say that John is the best one in the podcast, because we have a lot of things in common regarding these things. Because actually, I personally. I'm sure that if a phone that I buy comes with a screen protector pre-applied, I'm going to remove it and I'll feel the joy of removing it. It's something great, like pulling off the screen protector and throwing it. It's the best thing that you could get after bringing a phone. So yeah, it's you feel the phone is different when you have a screen protector. Also, this edge of the screen protector that your finger just passes on is something I can't really live with. So I know it's a risk. Yeah, you could the phone could fall and it could have a broken screen, but I'm personally okay with having this risk, especially that the screens are now much protected if we compare them to how things were before. I mean, having all of this Gorilla stuff, Gorilla Glass, Victus Plus and stuff. So if I have all of this and I'm going to add a protector, then why to have all of this in the first place? So I think now people should be slightly reassured that their screens should be safe if they have a drop or two.
Well, until your phone falls down and the glass cracks, then, Karen, you will know what we're talking about. I always talk about my wife's phone, her Galaxy S21 Ultra. She works with special need kids, and one of the kids grabbed the phone, threw it across the classroom, the savior was that it has the tempered glass, and all that we had to do was replace the tempered glass. So frankly, I'm always an advocate for screen protectors, and not just a flimsy plastic one. No, it has to be a tempered glass. Always, guys. Unless, of course, you have a boatload of moolah like John, and you don't mind buying a phone every 2 months. You could run around with it naked.
Hey, you spend more on phones than I do.
But yeah, nah, for me, definitely jumps out of the box. I slap that on and slap a case on, and my phones look in good, pristine condition. I don't want smudges on my phone. I hate that. Up next is the tip of the week. This is a feature where we show you a trick or two on how to use some certain feature on your phone or some other feature in a given app. And now for this week's episode, here's your tip of the week. Let's now close this episode, though, with a tip of the week. And this week, it's all about that Aggregator News Reader mode. Hi, Warren here for Blind Android Users Podcast, and for episode 222 tip of the week. This is demonstrating Reader mode found in Aggregator News. Back in episode 209 app of the week, I demonstrated the Aggregator News RSS Reader, and somehow there's a hidden feature in there, and that's the reader mode that's not easily visible. And so today I'm giving a tip of the week on how to go about enabling that reader mode found in the app. I do have the app opened, and now I'll tap on that menu found on the top right corner and show you how you can go about enabling that.
Button, show menu. Detected icon, settings.
And that's the settings there, and we'll tap.
Pop-up menu. Dismiss menu.
Now the next thing we want to do, that's step 2, is to find an icon that says settings.
Settings button.
And we'll go ahead and tap.
Settings. Back button.
Now that we have tapped on the settings, what we need next is the News tab, which is the second tab from the bottom left. I'll now move toward the bottom and tap on the second tab, and that will be the News tab.
News. Tab 2 of 4.
And I'll tap.
News. Tab 2 of 4. Selected.
We're now in the News tab, and the next thing we're going to tap on is
Open News. Mode. Show options button.
We heard Open News mode, and by default, it's set to options. This is a reason why when you open an article, whether you're in the news mode or in your technology or whatever category that you are, you're not going to find a way to have the article displaying in the app. Instead, you have to either open it with a browser and things of that nature. However, here we can make that change to where you could actually see the article open up in the app. I'll now tap here.
Pop-up menu. Show options button.
So by default, we hear Show Options. Moving down,
External browser button.
there's an external browser if you prefer your articles to be opened by an external browser of your choice. Next.
Internal browser button.
Next.
Browser tab button.
Next.
Read mode button.
And read mode. That's what we want. Once we tap here,
Open News. Mode. Read mode button. Settings.
that now becomes our default. Now I'm going to go back.
Aggregator heading.
Now I'm going to find some article here at random and open it.
Digitaltrends.com. Today 1336. The Platine wireless stereo system with Dolby Atmos is 15% off from Amazon button.
And I'll just tap.
digitaltrends.com. Back button.
And now we have the article if I put my finger down.
If Bluetooth speaker deals and soundbar deals aren't enough for you to get your premium audio fix, it might be time to invest in something more powerful.
I just tapped to stop the reading. And that's how you go about enabling the reader mode found within the Aggregator News RSS News Reader. Thanks for listening. All good things must end. Thus, it's curtain drawing time, bringing us to the close of this week's episode. Coming up, though, we give you information on how to get hold of us. Well, with that, though, we come to the end of this week's episode. As always, John is standing by to give you information on how to get a hold of us. You want to send us an email, you want to send us a voicemail or whatever, we have that information on how you can get hold of us. John?
To contact us, simply send an email to contactus@blindandroidusers.com. If you'd prefer, you can leave a voicemail by calling +1 307 202 9797. You can join our mailing list by sending a blank email to blindandroidusers+subscribe@groups.io. You can join our Facebook and Telegram groups or subscribe to our YouTube channel using the links in the podcast show notes or YouTube video description. And you can find all of this information and more at our website, blindandroidusers.com.
Thank you so much, John. And with that, though, this is the end of this week's episode. And we want to thank you guys for joining us week in, week out. From me, I want to say goodbye until next week.
Have a great week, everyone.
Thank you for listening. Goodbye.
Goodbye, ladies and gentlemen.
Thanks for listening to another episode of the Blind Android Users Podcast. Until we see you next week, don't forget to leave us your comments and suggestions via our email contact or using any of our social media sites. Have a great week.